What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Chasing Daylight podcast. And boy, we always have a lot of shit to talk about, but we got a lot of shit to talk about tonight. Dan was just over on the East Coast playing golf at Kiawah. We had a major at the VGN. Weather guy came through with a big W. We got our interview with Patrick Lindsay coming up on Wednesday. We got a little contest, kind of a contest, little raffle that we're going to be talking about later on. I got my knee checked out today. I'm going to give a little shout out to that place because old man is back. And Reflection Bay. I got around in at Reflection Bay with Trey. And then we have a date for our very first King of the Green event. So a lot going on, but Dan, and then the headline topic of today's episode is what is wrong with golf? And there's not a question mark on that for a reason, because it's a statement. What is wrong with golf? And we're gonna all dig into that a little bit later and chat about it. But Dan, welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, it was pretty awesome out there. The weather was good. The humidity was up on a couple of days. Got a little sweaty out there, but the golf was great, and the company was good too. So can't ask for much more on a golf trip.
All right, let's give the rundown. Where all did you play?
So I was at Kiawah Island Resort. So we played the Ocean Course, the Cougar Point, Oak Point, Osprey Point, and Turtle Point. Pretty much all 5 of the public courses there, and it didn't disappoint. Obviously the Ocean Course is what it is. It's tough. It's beautiful. It wasn't super windy, so we got pretty lucky. But if the wind had been blowing like 20 to 30, it would eat your lunch.
Yeah.
And but it was very playable. Although the greens were the slowest of the bunch there, they were still in great shape, and just amazing scenery. The clubhouse is sick. The beach. It was quite the experience. It was awesome.
Did you get a feel for Phil's record round there? Like it was something special?
Yeah, considering, because I believe that weekend it was pretty windy that weekend. I don't remember 100%, but I think I remember the wind being up, and yeah, there's some holes there where if you don't have any little bit of guidance. We had a caddy that joined our group. One of the guys that joined us got a caddy, so he kind of gave us a heads up on lines off the tee box and stuff. But if I wouldn't have heard his advice, I probably would have hit it into the beach or in with the alligators multiple times.
How was the pro shop? A lot of Peter Millar out there, or what?
Lots of Peter Millar, lots of Johnny O, and lots of Footjoy.
I've been a lot of Footjoy.
Yeah, lots of Footjoy. And then, of course, Matt's favorite is Puka hats.
The hats that don't fit my head by Puka.
Yep.
They look so damn good, too.
No new era hats.
No new era. So that was disappointing. But
new era. Don't get me started.
But it was a beautiful clubhouse. Nice golf shop. The people were great, too.
Did you guys eat lunch afterwards there? I think you guys are hanging out on the patio.
We did. We had a few cocktails down there, and quite a few. And we went down to the beach. But when we got off the golf course, it was like, I don't know what was going on, but there was like an influx of beautiful women there. And me being single, I was just like, oh, this is nice. But no joke, we got off the golf course, and there was probably about, I'm not even exaggerating, like 30 girls that were just stunning. Like, man, what's going on?
It happens every day at 2 p.m.
Every day.
Yeah.
It's like the rain in Florida.
Yeah, it was nice.
How'd Tommy and Jared play out there?
They actually did pretty good.
Yeah.
Jared he got a little frustrated the first day, but he recovered, made some good shots. And then Tommy, he's same thing. He was struggling a little bit with a couple of his swings, but he turned it around at the end of the trip, started hitting more solid shots and flagging pins, especially the last round. Tommy played really well last round.
I miss those guys, man.
Yeah,
they're busy, man. Those guys really haven't been playing a whole lot of golf, and
that's good, though.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Absolutely.
That it does.
Just
but
ask
they're good.
Adam.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So what was your favorite course that you played?
Ocean course for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it
and
like
then
a big notch above the others, or?
for me, it was just because of the whole experience, the setting. It had the most beautiful clubhouse. It was literally on the beach. You can see the whole back nine is right on the water, so you can see everything. The front nine plays a little inland, but just overall, that was awesome. And then honestly, I liked Cougar Point, the second best, and that's the Gary Player course over there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was so much fun. The layout was sick. For me personally, I think it was the best conditioned course. Greens were super tight, fairways were plush. Um, just an awesome time. But the others were great. They were great too.
Does it deserve a second trip back, or would you rather go somewhere else?
I would I would definitely go back, but I would still go someplace else first, just
Yeah.
because there's still so much to see.
Yeah.
Still so much golf for me to golf courses for me to see before I go back there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great trip. I know you guys were planning it for a while. While you were gone, we had our VGN Major out at Coyote Springs, and Coyote was flexing their muscle a little bit. Greens were quick, pin placements were a little tricky. Course was overall in good shape, would you say, Joe?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep, totally.
Yeah, and it was, there was some, the greens are fast. It's that course is.
I didn't think they were that fast.
You didn't think that, really?
No. But I
Wow.
put my ass off. Like I literally put my ass off on Saturday. I mean, I was draining 12s, 15s, 18s, drained one from like 24 feet for a birdie. Like, so I don't know. I didn't think they were that quick. And I was just dripping them in the hole all day.
Yeah, I
Just
mean, they
drip.
weren't like 14s, but compared to what we have been playing lately, that
Yeah.
I haven't played. That's the fastest greens I've played on probably since TPC.
I didn't think they weren't deathly like fast.
Well, how many downhill breakers did you play with? Because
I mean, quite a few because
okay,
if you're at Coyote Springs, you're probably getting a few downhill breakers or uphill
Yeah,
breakers or
it's
side
inevitable
winding
there.
breakers, or there's most putts out there are not straight.
I mean, I was happy. I had 32 putts, so I wasn't, and that was with the 3-jack. So um,
Yeah.
I wasn't upset with my putting. It was other things that went
I wish
awry for me.
I really wish I had taken my stats and my putts and all that, because I swear I probably had 10, 11 putts on the front nine.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the pin location on 2, the par 5, was like on the left edge. It was so
Yeah,
weird.
there was some pins that were pretty rough out there for sure.
But overall, I think it
14,
was.
14 was a tough one.
Let's see, and I one putted that. I came up short of the green, chipped it all the way. I was in the front right, chipped it all the way over the hill, pat down the little valley up, and then it curved down to the left, and so I had a straight uphill putt.
Yeah, straight uphill putt. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the key
and
there.
that exactly is the key there, because
Yeah,
I didn't have many others. I had a lot
I had
of.
like a left to right 4-footer, and I had been putting my ass off all day and just lipped it. But Coyote's great, man. I mean, it's so I don't even know if you could consider it underrated. I just feel like it's like not well known because it's such a gem of a course. Like if you are willing to take that hour drive, like it's completely worth it. And it's probably like bang for buck compared to courses in Vegas. It's worth it. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
like you can't get much better out there. I mean, even like out of towners don't get charged as much as they would at Paiute. Like it's completely worth it. It's a gem. And like I said, I don't know if I'd consider it under the radar. It's just like it's not known, you know. Well, I guess that is under the radar, but it's if you're coming out here, it's sick. Like
How
just
many
go play
bunkers were you in?
it. I started off a few in the front, and it was pretty heavy. The bunkers were pretty heavy.
There was a lot of sand.
There was a lot of sand. Yeah.
Like a lot of sand.
Yeah.
And then I get to 18 and the front left bunker, my approach came up short. I had to chip over it to that flag that was right on the left edge.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of just taking my medicine and chipping out to the right and trying to, get 2 putts, I was like, oh, I got this shot. I got Phil in my bag. Yeah, I can do this. And so I chipped it. And I mean, if it goes another 2 inches, I was sitting pretty, but it hit the rough and bounced back and dropped straight down in that bunker. And that area, that bunker, there was no sand in. And it took me three swings to get it out because it was so firm and hard packed that.
Well, I don't know if you saw Manolo's golf lessons today, but he was talking about stop complaining about there's no sand in the bunkers. But I did play with Tyler Paul, Mr. 3-putt bogey himself. He was counting. He kept telling me that's 2 shots out of the bunker I could have saved. That's 3. That's 4. Because he just kept hitting the lip or he couldn't get it out. And I think at the end of the round, it was like 6 or 7, strokes where he just hit the lip and it came back at him or he couldn't get it out. And he only finished like 6 or 7 strokes back.
Yeah.
I told him, just don't go at the bunkers. They're out there. They're not hidden. You don't aim there.
I got up and down a lot from that. I got out, had not all up and downs, but I got out a lot. I was really happy with my sand game, and just that last hole just ate my lunch. And I'm going to complain about if there's no sand in the bunker, if every other bunker you've been in is packed like flour. And then I get in
We're
one.
just looking for consistency out here.
Yeah,
just
that's
looking
all.
for consistency.
That's all. Just give me the same shit across the course. But I get it. It's not easy to do. But the weatherman was a big winner.
Yeah, it was.
So let's bring in Matty G to talk about him. Maybe we won't talk about Matty G.
Well, the news certainly did this morning. He was gloating.
Oh, yeah. He was very happy. Dan, I don't know if you saw it, but he was showcasing the trophy all over the news this morning. So we had a couple people reach out. It was awesome.
Yes, I definitely saw him.
I jinxed it by raising my hands and being excited that the audio file played this morning. So
yeah, good test.
Yeah, it failed miserably. Oh, here we go. All right.
What's up, everybody? This is the first place winner of the Hearts division, Tamarack. What a great tournament. I honestly shocked myself with how I played that day. Took about a 2-month hiatus, man. I mean, I did not golf at all. I went to the range maybe once or twice and came out great. The irons were flush, and the driver and putter were working. So that's all you really need to play good, and that's how it went that day. So great tournament. Love the group I was in, and overall, VGN, just a fantastic league to be in. But looking forward to this upcoming weekend. Temperatures are going to be much, much cooler. 84 on Saturday. We're only up to 87 on Sunday. Might be a little breezy, but conditions are staying dry heading into the weekend, so a great golfing forecast and a great first weekend of fall as it begins on Friday. So looking forward to it, and have a great rest of the week.
We're Nish and Chris, 2 very amateur golfers on a quest to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland, after Chris set this challenge on a drunken Saturday night in my kitchen. Join us on our frequently humorous journey of a lifetime as we grapple with the logistical and financial challenge of playing some of the best courses in the world, as well as grappling with our games, because let's face it, it's never just about playing. Sometimes the score matters too. Listen to the Top 110 Golf Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Sometimes it just takes a little bit of a break.
That's all it takes.
Really, like for nutcases and psychos like us, like where we have to, or else we'll start shaking. Sometimes you just gotta take a break.
My issue would be, okay, it's been 18 hours. Is that long enough?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
been
no.
2 days. Is that a long enough break, or do I need to take a longer break?
I think the minimum break you need to take is like 2 weeks.
Oh, you're talking
I
like
agree.
time off.
Yeah, time off. Like you got to clock out, take a vacation.
Well, I'm going to Boise this weekend. I'll be up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's about as much taking off that I'm going to be able to muster. But I am going to go up to
It's hard
Tamarack
though.
and check
That's the
out
thing.
the course up there. So I may grab a rental set.
That's the thing. I mean, for like us that are like psychos, like love the game and just love playing. I mean, it's so hard to just drop the sticks and take the break because it's what feeds our soul, kind of like, for us soul golfers.
Yes. Hey, Steven Jackson's in the chat right now. What's up, brother? He's taking I'm at a break moment. He said, "Want to tease?" He's helping us with some potential new artwork, and so those of you watching on YouTube can get a little glimpse at maybe something coming down the line. That's the first draft, so thanks for doing that, sir.
Appreciate it.
Didn't respond to your text because we're doing this, so that's why I wasn't ignoring you. All right. Also, yeah, I talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago, but Tamarack Resort up in Cascade in Idaho. It's about an hour and a half north of Meridian and Eagle. They are opening back up. They have 9 holes open right now, and I got to play the course years ago before it shut down. It's an absolutely spectacular Robert Trent Jones design on a lake up at elevation. It's at 7,000 feet, I think. Just gorgeous country, beautiful, and there's bald eagles everywhere. And the recession kind of hurt it really bad, and they ended up shutting down. But they got it back up and running. Like I said, 9 holes are rolling right now, and so we may take a drive up there and go check it out because definitely that's an amazing golf course and definitely worth a trip up there if you're in that area. And then Wednesday, well, when this comes out today, we're interviewing Patrick Lindsay. He is the director of the Shriners Open event, which is a month away. And he was on last year. We had a great time chatting with him. There's some crazy new thing that they're doing called Club 360, where they put
I saw that, yeah.
another level on top of the hill that has
it's on top of the hill.
Yeah, it's on top of what was on top of the hill. It's a second.
The hill is going to be 2 stories.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And they call it Club 360 because you're going to be able to see people coming in on 9, people coming in on 16, people hitting on 17, people coming in on 18, and people leaving on 10. And one. Yeah. So that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
So
good spot for it.
Yeah. And then working on getting our media passes. And so, we'll be out there as much as we can. I know it's tough for you guys during the week and it's tougher for me on the weekends. So, we'll figure something out, but we're going to get out there and check it out and see everybody, all the Vegas guys that play in it. And that, what did you think? Did you guys watch any of the Fortinet? I know, Dan, you were out, so you probably didn't really care.
I didn't watch a ton. I mean, I watched Sahith coming in because obviously I'm a fan of Sahith, so didn't want to see him blow it like he did at Greenbrier. But
he tried to.
He tried to, but yeah, dude, Sahith is one of my favorites. Glad to see him win instead of Max Homa for the 3rd year in a row. But yeah, I didn't watch a ton, but it was a good one, and it's this fall season is kind of it's going to be interesting. I saw that Jimmy Walker said it was bullshit, but
Whoa, did he really? What did he say?
Did you not see that? Yeah,
No.
he quoted. He said the fall PGA Tour is bullshit, but he had exemption status, and who knows? Who knows what he's doing? He's probably fucking smoking some meat somewhere. I don't know.
Why is it bullshit?
I mean, we'll see how it plays out, right? Because this is going to be the first time that we see it play out in this fashion. But I think it's good. I think it makes it pretty equal for a lot of the pros. It's going to be interesting, and JT probably wouldn't have typically been in that field, but he's got Ryder Cup coming up, so he wanted to get his new feels in. And there might have been some players that wouldn't typically be there, like maybe next year. Like we might not see those bigger names, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to work out decently. Who knows? This is the trial fall season, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, come January when the guys who played well in the fall, whatever you call it, the fall series, are in some events that they weren't in after the playoffs, they're going to be fans of it.
Right.
guess
Yeah.
the
And I think it gives
exemption
you
guys that,
an opportunity. It gives you an
yeah,
opportunity if you're out of the top players. I mean,
play your way
I don't
into
know
some
why
events.
exactly. I don't know why you'd be calling it bullshit. It's play well, get back in. I don't know. It's equal opportunity for everybody.
Did Jimmy
I
Walker
don't
play in it?
understand it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, you guys might notice we're missing somebody tonight. Stat guy is a little under the weather, so we wish Jeremy
He's a big
well.
fan of Jimmy Walker.
Yeah, and he would know if Jimmy Walker was playing because he's stat guy.
He would.
But I'm wondering if he didn't get in because JT did. He took his spot. That would be
Yeah, I
funny.
don't know.
That would be. All right, so
We'll see how it plays out.
I'm not going to be able to put the interview out on Friday because I won't be here, but I'm probably going to put it out Monday morning. So Monday or Tuesday, or maybe we even hold it till next Friday because it'll be closer to the Shriners and it'll be a little bit more pertinent information. So keep an eye out for that. And then let's see, what do you want to do next? Let's go. We'll save that for later. So I have had an issue with my knee for a little over a year. This happened right before we went to Bandon, right, Joe?
Yeah, but was that 3 years ago now? 2 years ago?
Shut up. It was last year. Good grief.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was last year. Yeah. I mean, I'm just jonesing for some Bandon, so it just feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, it was summer last year. I hurt my knee moving some furniture around, and it's been bugging me ever since. It's been getting worse and worse and worse, and I really hope my lackluster performance on the golf course lately is in direct relationship with how bad it has been, because that would be exciting for me. I went to my doctor. He referred me to an orthopedic. I went to the orthopedic, which was nice. I got in right away. He touched my knee like, oh, it hurts here. Okay. Yeah, let's get you an MRI. They'll schedule it. We'll have you back here probably 3-4 weeks. And I was like, okay. And Marcus is a new member of the VGN, and he's been helping me out on some of my swing fundamentals. And he told me about John Petrick, who is somebody who works at, it's called Las Vegas Pain Relief Center. It's here in Henderson. And he's a motion therapy, doesn't believe in invasive stuff, basically a chiropractor that works on the entire body. And I went in there today, and he did some crazy ass
shaman.
Yeah, Joe said it sounded like you were in a teepee. And he found that my meniscus had popped out of where it was supposed to be, and he put it back in. And I tell you, it is some of the most excruciating pain I felt in my life. The stuff he was doing to me, just the stretches and the pressure, but he moved it and I felt it pop. And he goes, "Ooh, did you feel that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I just put your meniscus back in place." So he was explaining that your meniscus is like a donut that sits underneath. It's between the bone joints, and it had rotated, and it's supposed to rotate, and mine wasn't. It was stuck. And so my body was trying to turn, it wasn't good. So he did a couple other things and said stand up, and the pain was gone. And he said, you're going to be sore for a couple days. And his assistants are like, yeah, don't be surprised if you see bruising or anything like that. It can get pretty nasty, and he was working on you pretty hard. So but I am pumped. It was amazing that somebody knows what they're doing, looked at it, assessed it, did some stretches, did some things to get it, and fixed it.
Sometimes all you need is some natural fucking movement, or
Ugh.
you don't always need surgery or medication.
Yep.
So, does he take insurance?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys.
One of those guys. But you know what? I might sleep tonight, like really good, because I'm not going to be tossing and turning trying to find a comfortable spot for my leg to sit. And
might. I mean, or that thing could just fucking break in half. Who knows?
Yeah, I squatted. I did a squat today. I haven't done a squat in a year. It doesn't hurt when I get up right now. I mean, it's incredible. So
just ice it. Take a break from the game. Yeah. Don't be dialing it. Don't try and fix your swing currently for the next few days.
Well,
don't tweak anything.
I'll tell you what.
Rest your body. Rest your body. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody want to check some out, just if you're in some kind of pain that you can't get figured out, go check them out. Las Vegas Pain Relief Center. John,
I'd be interested where they're located.
It's on Horizon Ridge, right at Eastern. It's on Horizon Ridge. Just
I'm sure I could use some like useful stretching.
Oh my! I mean, and then he goes, "Hey, let me adjust you real quick." And so he had me go like this and turn, and I'm sitting down,
and he just pushes down, and
he bear hugged me and like twisted, and it just went, and I was like, "Whoa!" Have
you ever seen those chiropractor guys that like you lay down and they put something around your neck and they just fucking pull and it's like,
yeah, and that's what I was
like
afraid he was
scorpion or some shit. It's scary.
Welcome back, Dan.
Chiropractors are scary, man.
Yeah, I was a little nervy to begin with, but
even if you trust them, it's like, dude, you're about to fucking tear my skull out of my head.
Oh, the amount of pain he was putting me through. And he told me, he goes, "I'm sorry, but I have to do this. I have to assess you. I have to find out. I have to do this." And I'm like, I said, "I can take it. I may scream like a little bitch, but I can take it." And, I mean, there was one point I'm like, "Oh my God." And he was like, "I'm sorry." But I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled.
Nice. Yeah, ice it, take a break. Get it back going, because you're going to have to walk a lot in a year. So.
Oh yeah, I know. And that's why I was doing this, because I want to be ready. I mean, I'm doing really good on the weight loss. I'm down 28 pounds, still rolling. And now with this added comfort level, I'm looking forward to that coming down even more. So
yeah,
I'm pumped for that. What did Rob say? I'll show you how to take a golf break from the hiatus for a couple weeks. I don't know if you heard earlier, Rob, we were saying how long do you take a break for? Because I was telling these guys that, after a day, I'd be like, is that a long enough break?
Well, that's the thing, is like Katie went to Canada and I'm like, I had to take a 2-week break. I'm just fucking jonesing. I'm like, I have to get out. Because it's a drug, man. The game of golf is a absolute drug.
You played good too.
Yeah, played decent.
Dan, how long was your break before you teed it up at Kiawah?
I think it was a couple of weeks also.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had been doing a lot of work at the Mac, and I didn't play for about good 2, maybe even 3 weeks.
And did you play well? Or like, did you play better than you typically would? Did you feel anything different?
No, not really. I don't think I played any better or any worse. Just kind of definitely showed a little bit of rust, that's for sure. But no, it didn't really feel any different.
2 weeks?
I think.
Is that no? I'm sorry. Rob just said at least 2 weeks, bud. Play one round and then another 2-week break. So is is that like no golf activities whatsoever for 2 weeks, or am I allowed to hit balls in the back and putt?
No,
Nothing. Don't touch a club.
No touching the clubs.
no
Oh
touching the club.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
it's hard.
Oh,
I mean, I chipped a little bit in my backyard, but like no full swings. I would say no full swings. You can
oh
putt.
man. When we went to New York and I went to the pier and I was like, I just want to go hit some balls. It's been like 5 days since I touched my golf clubs.
Yeah, I know. We're addicts. We're
Hey,
fucking addicts.
sad news. Dan's not going to be able to make the finals. Here's the list of the players. The highlighted players are in the finals for the VGN.
We can't see anything. I'm not in the highlights, I'm sure.
No, you're not in the highlights. That's hearts. And there's spades and diamonds.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, you're
very
down
blurry.
Very
Yeah.
blurry.
Sorry. On your screen. It's very Joe, you're sitting in the 8th spot right now. So
Okay,
you're looking
so-
pretty
so-
good. But there was
Well, I'm gonna have to miss Boulder, which unfortunate, but
that's that's the door right there.
then we got national, and that's my spot. So
That's your jam. Okay, so next, King of the Green. King of the Green is back. It's been a while since we've held a King of the Green event. It's a putting contest that we put on. I think Glenn was the last one who won out at Revere. Dan won before that. We're moving it.
Before that,
Joe did.
don't forget me.
Joe,
Yeah,
Joe
I
won the
did
very
before
first
Dan.
one at Legacy.
Just don't forget it.
I'm not going to forget it. You're the first picture with the belt. But we're moving it to Angel Park, and we're going to do it during the week. It's going to be on a Thursday. November 2nd is the date we're looking at. It shouldn't be too cold by then. It should be great weather still. End of October.
So is it going to be on the putting course?
It's going to be on the putting course.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yes. So I'm going to open it up to 32 players. Haven't quite figured out the entry fee yet. I'm talking with Jed about that right now to see what he's going to be able to help us out with. Much love to that man for helping us out. I really appreciate it.
And that dude's doing a great job up there,
It's
man.
fantastic.
He really is.
Absolutely
He really
amazing
is.
job.
I wish I lived a little closer just so I could go up there more often, but
I right there with you.
It's on the
I
other
agree
side of
100%.
town. because it's a great spot.
If I'm going that far, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up to Boise because it's halfway. But what we're going to do is it's going to be tournament style bracket. So 2 players head to head match play for 9 holes. And the winner
It's
goes
a great
on.
spot too because the little patio area overlooks the course too. So
Yep. So the winner goes on. The loser, we're gonna have a food and beverage ticket for everybody. So grab some food, grab some drinks, hang out, and watch. And it's gonna be a great time. And I think having it there because that putting course it's not like
not forgiving.
It's not the Dustin Johnson putt thing that you were talking about last week. You can put it in the water.
Yeah. I haven't played it since I was a kid, but I remember just like, how do I even get this putt towards the hole?
Yeah. So it will challenge everybody. So that is
Speaking of food and beverage tickets, do we know if our beverage tickets are good at Coyote anytime?
Did you not
Because
use yours?
I have 2 left. Well, we found some on the ground, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Probably not, right?
I have no idea. You can call Chris and ask him.
All right. Just curious. Because I was at Smith's today and I was like, should I toss these or should I hold on to them?
Use them at Mitch's.
And that's the question. Are they good at Mitch's?
We have to find out.
I mean, sure. I'm sure I could weasel my way into them being useful.
Probably. And then Trey and I played Reflection Bay, talking about their new Pass Palm greens. And I put a post out there on Dish, there we go, that about it. I said, be patient with it because They are new. They did have a little bit more time than typical because they, redid them all and of course was completely shut down.
How long were they closed? Like 6 months?
Since April.
Oh.
Yeah. So 5 months? 5 months.
Yeah.
And that grass is very unique. It's going to take some time. If anybody has played Club at Sunrise, you know what they're like. Just imagine a lot more undulation because reflection kept all that in.
Yeah. So was it hard to see like the breaks, like how it is at Club at Sunrise? Would you consider it harder?
No, I wouldn't consider it harder because the undulation is so good there.
So you got to really feel it. You got to feel it with your feet, kind of situation.
It's there's no finesse putting. You have to hit the putt. It's not, if you see it breaking, 5 inches out to the right, maybe only go 2 because the grass is going to slow it down, and it's not going to take that break as much as you think it's going to. I put it pretty well because I was chipping everything close.
Were they quick or like slower?
I would say slower. It's kind of like a Poana on a Sunday afternoon.
I know they've cut them a shit ton and probably rolled them a shit ton over the summer. So
yeah, it's hard to say.
It's more of like a sprouty grass, so it's like kind of just.
Well, the blades are
poppy.
thick. The blades are thick, and it just like chipping. The ball checks up like a son of a bitch. I mean, you can absolutely fire at the pins with your wedges, because it is going to stop around the green. Very receptive. They rolled. I mean, they were slow. They weren't, 8s or anything that bad.
Well, I feel like Club at Sunrise is usually pretty slow, but it's like hard to see the putt.
Yeah.
Well, so they were slow out there.
More. I don't know if it was.
Well, it's going to feed towards Lake Las Vegas, obviously, right?
Well, I think at Club at Sunrise, because they're a lot flatter, the breaks that are there are harder to see. Where at Revere or at Reflection, you can see the breaks. It's just
you're on a mountain, so it's a little bit different.
How much do you need to adjust for that?
Yeah.
So, but course is in good shape, and glad it's back. Hope it alleviates.
Did they do anything else other than the greens?
They
upgraded the carts. They upgraded the clubhouse.
The clubhouse is the same. Nothing changed there.
Oh, I saw they were promoting that they like changed like the interior of the clubhouse. I saw.
Well, Trey said he didn't remember the white tile, but I remember the white tile up top. But
white and cream are pretty similar, so I mean, you might have saw cream. You're older.
But Pro Shop was the same. The outside was the same. They hired a lot more people. There's a lot more people working there now.
Yeah. What they should have fucking done is put a fucking real range in there. Is what they should have done.
They have no room. They should have you hit balls into the water. That would be awesome.
Well, that little short area next to the cage. I mean, they should have just netted that up and closed it so you can see some sort of ball flight.
It's Bally High too.
Yeah. It probably worse because they're all black. All the balls are black. And
we didn't even
turn black.
We didn't even go there. We just went right to the putting green and was trying to get a feel for it.
Probably could have leveled that putting green a little bit too, but
it was pretty good.
It's pretty drastic. The putting green is pretty drastic elevation wise, but it's a great fucking course, man. Like because I was supposed to play with you guys and I was kind of bummed, I had to adult and go to work, and I'm excited to get out there and see what they do. I mean, you guys played on the first day they were open, so obviously it's only going to get better and better, so.
Yeah, like I said, in a couple years,
I think we need to play out there next month. In October, I think it's going to be fantastic in October, so.
All right, let's do it.
We got to get out there.
Hey, shout out Doc Kyle Peters. Thank you for the invite. So that is that. That is that. That is that. All right, last thing before we get to what's wrong with golf. I'm going to put this up on the screen so everybody can see it. We are the SNGA is hosting a social event out at Southern Highlands. Pretty badass event that
exclusive. As exclusive as you get out in Vegas.
Yeah, the it's a spectacular golf course. It's one of the premier prime private clubs in Vegas. I mean, it's SoHi Shadow Summit as far as exclusivity and experience and just all around wow. We got to play it back last year at a Derek Carr tournament.
Yeah, for those loyal listeners, we beat Derek Carr in a golf tournament.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yes, we did. And that's why he left.
And he lost tonight. Did he not lose tonight? Did he lose?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. Okay. I saw Chubb get his knee bent the wrong way.
Oh no, they won. They won by 3. So
all right.
Shut up, Derek Carr and his speeches.
Dan, this is kind of sad for Dan because he can't play because he's got the NFR. He's got adulting to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a spot. So Joe, Jeremy, and myself are going to play in this, and we have a spot. So this is what we're going to do. Up on the screen, those of you watching on YouTube, is my Venmo. So we're going to sell a raffle ticket for $20. So you can buy as many as you want. I mean, if you want to play in it, it's $265 for the event. This is it's not a private event. It's not a SNGA members only. Anybody can register. $265. But we want to try and raise awareness of the show and play with some of the people that listen. So scan the Venmo, send us $20 with your name. It is on the Tuesday, December the 5th. And the only thing that's covered is the golf. We're not flying you in. We're not paying your room. We're not buying you food. So,
but if you ask nicely, maybe we'll cover like a cheeseburger or something.
Yeah, and
get you an emergency sandwich.
If you emergency fly sandwiches. We'll pick you up an Esando.
Provide the Esandos.
But if you fly in, I'll come pick you up at your hotel. That's not a big deal.
And I can drop you off.
There you go. Taken care of. But we're not flying for you and we're not paying for your room, but we will pay for your golf. So if you want a chance to play one of the premier private resorts, that's not a resort, private clubs in America, in the world for that much, because it's pretty damn special.
It's one of them, yeah.
Yeah. $20.
Top 30, maybe? Top 30? Maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it's
40, the top 50, I'd say.
It's pretty freaking special.
Yeah.
Venmo me $20 and we'll put you in the drawing and we'll do it live on YouTube here in a couple of weeks. And one of y'all will get to come play with us. So it's for $20. I mean,
this is as Vegas as it gets, man. Like, take a gamble. You could play SoHi for $20.
Yeah.
We're a Vegas podcast. We're gamblers. I mean, Matt shit the bed on a parlay this weekend. That was probably more than that. So, I mean, might as well just give it a shot.
Right? Just give it a shot. Give it a shot. All right, let's get that off. And then we're going to go on to... So after hearing a lot of conversations after what took place at Coyote Springs, because there was some slow play. And I told everybody, I sent an email out to everybody the night before. Don't come at me with slow play because it's Coyote Springs. It's a tough course. Everybody's playing from distances further than what they're used to be playing. The greens are going to be fast. The course is going to be hard. It's going to be a 5-hour round. Expect it. But still, I still had people come at me with it slow play. So I started thinking, because I
left at like 6:50 in the morning, or no, probably not that early. 7:30 in the morning. I got home at like 5.
Yeah, I left at 6:15 and was still there at 5. So
yeah.
It was a long day, and much love to Jeremy and Favs for hanging out and helping me with it. I think it went off rather well. Coyote kind of messed up and didn't realize we had an 11:10 and 11:20 group, even though they had the cart signs a week ahead of time. And they threw 2 groups out in between our 11:10 and 11:20.
Seriously?
Yeah, because we're sitting in the bar and these people come in. We're like, what hole did you guys start on? We started on 1. And I'm like, how the fuck are you in here and we still have guys on the course?
That's weird.
So yeah, I told the starter, I said, hey, just tell my guys when they come up, hey, you're 11 or you're 10, 15 or 10, 20. I'm going to put you out at 10, 15. I'm going to move you up a little bit. And I go, just crunch us down at the back to get everybody on time. But that was like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. That's everything nowadays.
This says 11:10.
I have to go off this piece of paper. I'm sorry.
I have to go off this piece of paper.
I can't defect from the paper.
So this had me start thinking, we're always talking about what we love about golf. Trey did a little video with me while we were at Reflection Bay called Why Golf. And that's going to be fun to watch what people have to say other than what I said on that. But it got me thinking, what's wrong with golf? There's so many good things that we love and the camaraderie and the courses and travel and the play and the great shots that keep coming you back. But what's wrong with golf? And what can be done about it? So put together a little list here and throw it up on the screen so you guys can see. And this was just some of the things that I think is wrong with golf. So I'll run this down here so people that are listening can understand. It's too expensive right now. Just across the board, it's too goddamn expensive. And this isn't, back in the day.
So is gas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're paying
It went up
$5 a gallon.
It went up $1 since I left.
It's insane. So across the board, it's too expensive. Equipment
Luckily,
companies.
beer stayed the same price, roughly.
Just wait. No, now you've let the bag out. They're like, oh shit, we can jack up beer. All right. Equipment companies and their massive releases. There's zero regulations in golf shafts. They're like, one company can say this is a stiff, and another company can spec it, and they say that it's regular flex. It's very confusing to the consumers. And I think that's a thing that is very wrong with golf. There's too many new people. We've been talking about this for a while. Too many new people in the game. Customer service is going by the wayside. We had out at Coyote a couple people. I mean, one of the car girls was amazing. The other one made you feel like you were inconveniencing her. The guy inside was amazing. One of the guys outside, one of the marshals. We were on the 17th, the par 3, and he drove by 4 times while we were on the hole. And it's like, there are gas carts out there and you're trying to hit a shot and you're, it's like, dude.
Yeah.
So the customer service is going away and it's driving me nuts. The rules of golf are confusing. I think the USGA is doing a great job with their rules that they're posting on their Instagram account. And I've been sharing those on the Vegas Golf Network page and collecting them in a highlight. So if you ever want to see some of those, that's a great place to go check them out. Aside from their site, there's way too many golf ball options. Way too many. A lot of them do the same thing, but it's like a competition between these guys about who can do the best, and it's really taking it out of the consumer's hands. There's just too much going on with the golf ball, in my opinion. Let's see, wedges from grinds to materials used. It can be very confusing. $1,500 putters. It's just absolutely wild. Pro shops with crap offerings. I know Joe is a big fan of this.
Yep.
Dick-headed marshals. We were just talking about that, dick-headed marshals. And then no marshals whatsoever. You have courses where it would be nice to have somebody come by and go, hey, can you pick it up a little bit? You're falling behind. The group behind is complaining about slow play. There's ways to do that with not.
It also
being a
relates
dick.
to cart girls, just like fucking driving by. I think cart girls is probably worse than the marshals, but you can continue on the list. Shout out Trey tuning in also.
Hey, what's up, Trey? Course etiquette. A lot of the new players I blame for this, but there's course etiquette and self-awareness. And the self-awareness is not just new players. It's old players as well. I understand situations where you're getting in your groove, but I mean, you have to be aware of what's going on around you. And then, of course, we could always talk about pace of play because it is absolutely insane what's going on with pace of play out on the golf courses. All right, so that's what I got. Do you guys have anything you want to chime in, or you want to talk about anything that I said?
I mean, we could probably just go down a list and break it down. I mean, there's not much wrong with golf if you're a golfer, right? Like, so to me, like, I'm just super stoked to be out there. Number one, right?
Absolutely. I agree
Obviously,
100%.
things can be better, and it's the situations in everyday life, such as work or parenting or whatever the case may be, that can annoy you easily, right? And I don't want to twist this into we don't enjoy golf nowadays. I just think for us playing a little bit longer. I mean, I've only been playing for 5 years, but 5 years ago, courses were $30-$40 cheaper, right? And
It's more
that's
than
one of my
that.
biggest gripes. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, depending on where you play, right? So it has obviously gotten more expensive, and there is inflation in the country. I get that, but there's also more golfers nowadays, and it's harder to get a tee time, which doesn't help with you having to fork over 100, 120, $140 or whatever for a time that you're not into, or 3 or 4 years ago it would have been 80. It hurts a little bit because obviously we all love the game, and at the end of the day it is IJAG. It is just a game, but we love it and we want to play, and like we said earlier in the podcast, like, we're fiends, so we have to play or else we're going to lose our fucking mind. But
I'm not
there
taking it
are
to a
things
drink. I'm sorry.
yeah, there are things wrong with golf, but I don't want anybody to think that.
Oh, we don't love. Oh no, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
all of this shit on the screen right here. Yeah, it drives me
The
crazy, but
recommendations.
it's not gonna stop me from going out
Yeah,
at all. Yeah, 2 years
yeah,
ago, Paiute was $65.
yeah.
Okay,
It's crazy.
so equipment companies with all their releases, is it justifiable for them to do it, or is it capitalism? So if they can do it, go for it, or at a point, do you have to go look? There's not that much of a difference between that driver that last year and this one.
I think they just capitalize on people that don't actually know what they're doing. Because 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, I was like, I need the new driver. I need the new driver. Now, I've mentioned it before, like, I haven't changed anything in my bag for at least a year. Like, I do need new iron shafts. I know that. But still, like, 4 years ago, I would have just fucking bought them. And I
Yeah.
think they know that people are so enticed by new things and new technology, and they can sell you, like,
I think
new
when the
cover,
stealth
and it's not even real difference,
when Paradigm, Stealth, 435 all came out pushing $550, $600, and they were selling them,
Yeah, yeah,
they went,
yeah,
fuck, we can do this with everything. Let's make a
yeah,
5-wood $400. Let's make a hybrid
yeah.
$400.
And the drivers went up. Everything went up $50
Yeah,
this last year, I think,
it was
club
five, then it went
wise.
550. And I mean, God, if you want to get a customized, tailor-made Stealth, you're dropping $1,000.
I mean, when I bought my Sim 5-wood, I felt like a complete asshole spending like $400 on one club, you know.
That's just
But
crazy.
they know what they're doing. They're
Yep.
selling it. They're salesmen.
All right, Dan, you're on the higher end skilled player. What's your thoughts on the shafts not having any regulation?
Um,
And
I don't
Trey,
really
chime in.
think.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too.
Yeah, I would say with Trey being more of a fitter, he would probably be more, involved than I could be. But you know, I think it's kind of bullshit if, you know, what you're saying is, you know, if you're buying a stiff or whatever and it's specking out to like, you know, regular specs. You know, me personally, I feel like I can tell that when I swing. But for the average person who might not know any better, you know, yeah, they're kind of, you know, it sucks they're getting the wool pulled over their eyes. But as far as what you can do to change that, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe quality control has got to take a little bit more of a pride over just mass production, you know, just getting something out with our label on it, slap a $300 price tag on it, boom, let's start making money. But unfortunately, that's kind of what golf is like now. You know, it's for a lot of these big name companies, it's like a cash grab. You know, like nothing significant has really changed. I'm gonna kind of revert back to like just the drivers. If you look at the Stealth, look at the Stealth 2, look at the Sim, and you look at the Sim 2, it's all the same design. They just use different materials. Like the Sim 2 and the Stealth 2, it's the same thing, except for one's got a carbon face and the other one has a carbon crown.
Yeah.
Like,
They move the weight around a little bit here and justify, hey, you need
yeah,
this.
but for the most part, if you just look at the heads and the sole plates, they're the same driver, different paint job. And but because you move the crown of carbon from the crown to the face, you throw another $100 plus on top of it. Boom, put it out the next year. So same with Titleist too. If you look at the TSI and the TSR, like there's hardly any difference. So I think it's just more of like just get something out and just get something new. Guys who want the new shiny toys will go and get it regardless.
Yeah, and it's
True.
kind of like a status symbol, you know. I
Yeah,
got the newest driver, I got the newest irons, and it's really not about that. And I think this could pertain to, you know, like getting fitted is expensive too,
absolutely.
right? To figure out what exact shaft you need. If you're not trying to drop $400, $200, whatever on any type of shaft, you have to go get fitted so you can find out what works for you. And that comes down to it being too expensive because to find out what you're doing, like there's only a couple of places you can go to where it's like you can just pop shit in, pop it out, try everything with the shaft, with the club, or the heads or the driver head, whatever it is, to find out what actually works for you. And even at that point, it's not the same as you're going to get at the end because the quick connects or whatever the hosel is going to act a hair bit different, you know,
Yeah.
and
And it
it's
could,
so hard to dial it in. I told Trey that I'd send him the link to
yeah,
jump in.
I did too.
Yeah. But it's such, that's the thing. It's such a unique sport, such a unique game. And it's so hard to find what works for you because there are steps you need to take. You need to know what you're looking at. You need to educate yourself. You need to understand the game. You need to understand your swing. There's so many aspects to it where it's kind of hard to even do it when you are getting like professionally fitted.
Yeah.
I think we've beaten up too many people for the last 2 years. So I think everybody knows that. But the customer service going by the wayside, this is one thing that is kind of annoying to me is, you know, you pay more, you're paying more now, and it's pretty much the same product. Um, and in our case, it's an inferior product because so many of the courses have water restrictions, and you know they're not as green, they're not as lush. There's a lot of dry, dormant areas now because they don't have the budget for water that they used to. So it's kind of an inferior product compared to a couple of years ago, but we're paying more for it, and it's like we're inconveniencing the golf course by being out there. And I really would love to see a change of attitude on the customer service side that would be like, dude, man, you're really getting raped over the coals. let's at least give you some love while you're here. What's up, Trey?
Here I am.
Here
The
he
newest major champion, Trey Sanders.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah,
Before
thank you.
before you go too deep into that customer service, one thing I wanted to say is for newer golfers, unreal expectations of golf course conditions, right? Because when I started playing, I thought that everything was supposed to look like Augusta, and they.
Oh man,
It's true though, right? And when you first start playing golf, you're expecting all courses to look a certain way. That's not the case because there's seasons, there's different types of grasses. And talking to Darden, who was at Wild Horse, who is now at Angel Park, it's an impossible job to keep those expectations up to your clientele because everybody's expecting it to be a certain way, but that's not the case. It's a very difficult job. So last week was Greenskeeper
Joe got lost on the baby
Appreciation Day or whatever it was.
Good grief, man.
So shout out the greenskeepers because it's not what you expect every single time. And that's what makes golf awesome because you're going to experience different shit all the time. You're going to experience different types of grasses, different types of lies, and keep your expectations down. And when you come across those courses that are sick and dope and in great condition, like appreciate that because that's a moment you're not going to see all the fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think regarding that, I've been at several private clubs and seen several kids at play. And I think to myself, I'm talking like when I say private club, I'm talking like $100,000 to kind of join stuff. And, I see kids at private clubs when I was fitting, those kids are never going to know what it's like to play a fucking Boulder City Muni or a Boulder Creek.
Yeah.
Right. And I love Boulder
in
Creek,
the wintertime when it's dormant and fucking running all over.
I mean, I still love that. I mean, I love
it's
that.
Fun.
Course, Boulder
it's
Creek.
Fun.
It's just, that's what makes the game different, but I agree. Like, I think the expectations from club to club, it's hard because, like, let's say you go, let's say you got somebody, coming to Las Vegas and they book a tee time at Las Vegas National and they look at it online and then they show up and it's a completely different thing. Like, there's that level of trying to convince the player to come to that golf course no matter the condition that it's in.
Yeah. It's a sales technique, really, at the end of the day.
And I have been on, and I'm sure most of you guys have been on the end of, someone says it's a great layout, and then every time I hear great layout, I think shitty condition.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's true.
And we've all been on that end where it's like, oh man, like I'm excited for this, boom, boom. And I show up and it's a
goat track.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. And but you're right. There's got to be some level of realism to that. But I think at the same time, no matter if it's unfixable, that's one thing. But I'm gonna say it until I see more of it happen. But people got to fix ball marks, man.
Yeah, totally.
And it's not hard. Have I missed one before? Sure, but at the same time, I might do it 4 or 5 times on another green.
Yeah.
So I think there's a level of decorum around golf that people from 2020 on forward that don't know.
I have a funny story about fixing ball marks. Saturday, had a conversation with someone, and I don't like approaching people and telling them, hey, you're doing this wrong, let me show you the right way. But it got to a point where it's like, dude, you're ruining the grass. And so
was it going up?
Yeah. And
on
so
a Tuesday.
And I said, that's not the way you do it. And he's like, somebody else told me that too, but I don't believe it. And I said, I said, no, it's actually true. You're ripping the grass out of the roots. And he's like, yeah, but I don't believe it. So I don't do it.
Did he go to agronomy school? Was he an agronomist?
That's the kind of
You know,
stuff.
that's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's that level of decorum that goes from how we were learned the game to not. Like I've learned the game when I was young. I mean, I know Joe said he started in 2018, but
Well, I did play
even
when I was a kid, but my dad taught me when I was like 8, but I
yeah,
still withheld those ethics that he taught me because he said, don't do this shit, do it this way, so
yeah, and I think when I was growing up, there were other kids playing and stuff like that, but I also had I was fortunate enough to get lessons from a PGA pro that kind of taught me the game. Now, I can't remember anything I was taught from back then. I've always learned and evolved in this game. Even now, just learning rules that the USGA posts on Instagram. I think that's fantastic. I think
Yep.
they should do that for every rule
Yep.
and just have it available like that because it can come in handy like our tournaments or even an SNG, any kind of tournament.
Yeah.
If you could just pull up Instagram, boom, rule 26-A5000.
Hey, I saw
right
this on
here.
a video. Let's go look at it. Not let's bring up the rule book and try to decipher what 13-9A is.
Right.
yeah.
So I think when it comes to something like that, the availability of what the actual rules are is, well, for lack of other words, unavailable. Like I could type in Google, which side do I drop on, this side or that side kind of question, but it's got to be easier than that. I mean, USGA has to have like on their app or something, just a video library of every rule possible, that you can have an explanation for that can just be readily available for everybody in a tournament situation or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully
So
that's what they're doing by banking all those videos and
Yeah.
that would
I
be
mean, they're
awesome.
doing a good job currently, so
right.
Hey,
And
so
I
take
think
some
it
time.
just
you Trey, you heard what we ran through this list that we kind of put together. What's something that you have that wasn't on there besides fix your damn ball marks?
I didn't see the whole list. I couldn't read the whole thing. I jumped in like halfway through.
Okay, so we got let's see, too many new people, customer service going by the wayside. The rules are confusing. There's too many golf ball options. The different wedge grinds and materials used in wedges. $1,500 putters. Pro shops with crappy offerings. Dig-headed marshals.
Oh, don't get me started on that, bro.
Courses with no marshals. And
Yeah.
then self-awareness from players as far as course etiquette and pace of play.
Okay, so I'll start from the bottom up, or from the last to the first. I must say, Coyote Springs having one person go around every 9, like a marshal type person, it's fantastic. Keep it moving, stuff like that. I'm for it because not only do we want to play shorter rounds of golf, but if you can have, imagine this, like imagine if you had 4 groups that all finished in 5.5 hours. If you had 5 groups that finished in 4 hours, they could get another tee time almost in there and make more money.
Yeah.
So having someone go around like that, Coyote Springs does it right, especially with 2 cart girls on each side. Oh, and by the way, on this list, no cart girls.
Ooh.
Like no.
Oh, not having service.
Yeah, not having the service because I love Mountain Falls, and they don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to wait till 9 holes to get something. Like, have someone come around. But it's a senior community. It's different out there. Anyway, whatever. Still, gotta have one. What was at the bottom of that list again?
Pro shops with crappy offerings.
Yeah, pro shop.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll say this: when I went to Bay Hill, and maybe Dan can say about. I haven't been to Kiawah, so maybe Dan can fill in about Kiawah after this. But when I went to Bay Hill, like, I feel like in Bay Hill, it's kind of catered to. You know what? I just paid $250 for a round of golf. Why don't I spend $250 more because I'm already here and get some cool Bay Hill shit? I've been to places where I don't get that vibe. Like it's pretty much the kind of vibe where you walk in, you pay for your golf, and you walk right out.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like that, like I will say, probably 2 of the best ones that I've been to is Torrey Pines and TPC Sawgrass. The stadium course at TPC.
Wait till Bandon.
Like I said, I haven't been there yet. When I get there, I will most likely add it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
going on that, right? So it's like I think golf is becoming a younger sport, and I think the pro shops are not catering to the younger audience either.
Oh, not at all.
And we went over the new era thing a little bit,
man,
but
come on.
there.
Look at there's two guys on here that wear new era straight built. Come on. But yeah, I mean, Dan, how was the pro shop at Kiawah?
It was
Peter Millar.
nothing but Peter Millar and FootJoy.
Yeah.
But there was some Johnny O stuff, but yeah, for the most part, it was just those two.
The fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many golf balls. Too many golf balls. What do you think about that?
Well, if Glenn was on here, we'd be on here for 3 more hours. Love you, Glenn, but holy shit. I will say too many golf balls. Yeah, I would just say there's too many options if that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
So too many options. That's why I have honestly, that's why I have a closet full of Pro V1Xs, because I know what I get out of it. You know, not that because it's like the Titleist name or whatever. I've had people tell me that, like, oh, you play Titleist because of the name. No, I play a Pro V1X 2021 because I know what to expect when I fucking hit that ball.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the long and short of it. Like, you know, you told me if TaylorMade was better, which I know you spoke about that before in person.
The new one, talking about.
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if that's as good as you say it is and the cover holds, like, I'll pay TB5X if that cover holds for sure. Yeah. But going back to the customer service are you saying like golf stores in general?
No, just when you're at a golf course, the employees that you're interacting with have kind of, you know, taken a pass on providing customer service. And I was saying that, you know, here in Vegas, we're having an inferior product compared to 2-3 years ago because water restrictions, and we're paying more. So it's not the same value it was. You know what? A $65 round 3 years ago is now a $100 round, and the courses aren't in as good a condition. And it seems like the customer service is going the way of the golf course, not the price. You know, we're paying more for an inferior product. Hey, show me some love.
Well,
you know, make me feel a little bit better about dropping the cash that I am to come play your golf course.
You know what? It's funny you say that. I'd be willing to ask them that next time I pay over $100 for a round.
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, like I moved here too. I would tell them. I'd be like, even with Paiute, like Paiute is in great shape always, so I'd never complain about it. Which is, you know, have them do what they do with that course to be as good as it is fantastic. But when I moved here, that round was $60, $65. Now it's $95.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to get that Boulder, the Paiute card for next year. But I mean, it's, you know, golf is getting more expensive. I don't know if we have inflation to thank for that, but at the same time, you know, when they saw the increase of golfers over the last 3.5 years, you know, they're like, oh, well, we can increase the price too.
Supply and demand.
Yeah,
So,
I think golfflation might have hit before inflation.
Do you think possibly that when the pandemic hit and everybody started playing golf, but pandemic rules were still there, everybody riding in separate carts, maybe some of the staff members or the outside crew wouldn't be handling your golf bags as much? Maybe that has kind of bled into the lack of customer service. Like, we can interact more and we don't have masks on and stuff like that. But over the last 3 years of people kind of more handling their own equipment.
I've just stood here for the last 2 years doing nothing. That's what I'm going to continue to do.
Yeah. And not to mention, you know, unless you're getting tips, like you're still not making a whole lot of money in the golf industry, unless you're at a private course. You know, private courses, you have the opportunity to make a little bit more money. But, you know, mixed with that and just people overall being maybe more nastier.
Dicks.
Yeah, you know, just customer service is going by the wayside because they feel like, fuck it, I'm not getting paid enough. This guy's a jerk. Fuck this place.
I'm still
You know?
waiting for someone from outside services to plug in their Square into their phone and be like, swipe
God,
it.
dude,
I would
just
have one.
put all you got to do is just even the Square reader, or put
Yeah.
a fucking QR code there.
Nobody carries cash anymore, so for the most part. I mean,
I'm always for cash. So I realize I don't always carry it, but that's what the cash apps
Yeah.
and all the other stuff is for. But
and shout out Dan.
yeah.
I've seen him. What's your Venmo? I'll Venmo you right now. I've seen him do
Yep.
it.
Oh yeah. I don't
But
like.
if I was
I
card
don't like
service,
owing people.
I'd have a
hate
Square
owing
reader
people.
for sure.
I just
Yeah.
dealt with that for a 3-iron I sold, and it was. I hate, like Dan said, I don't like owing people.
Yeah.
It's a mortgage is one thing. Owing that kind of money is one thing, but
Right.
if I owe somebody something,
I'm not trying to owe the homies.
exactly. Just pay off your debt, and we're good to go.
Yep.
All right, so what about
but-
self-awareness, Trey? What about guys that are just have no clue that they're the problem?
I think because I've had a real close interaction in this area of golf, I feel that there's a lot of ego in this game because it's solo. We are a solo, like tennis players, we play this game by ourselves in a group of 4 people. Whether there's competition or whatever is hearsay. But when it comes to self-awareness, I think the people that are aware that somebody may or may not be the problem, it still has to be told in a way like, I take the high road. You have to let them know and keep repeating it to them. And then at some point, you just have to be a little stern with your message if it's been repeated several times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this at the end of the day, this is golf. Like, we don't need to have confrontation or anything. But, if 3 people out of 4 say it's this, then, pay attention.
Yep.
Like, that's all that has to go down with that, because, if I know I'm doing something, that's this or that, and it's not right, and so 3 out of 4 people tell me in the group that this is the right way to do it, then maybe majority rules, and
Yep.
they know what they're talking about. And I have conversation a lot about this in several areas of golf with lots of people, and I think somebody like Dan, even Joe, who's 5 years in, Matt, I don't know how many years in golf you're in. There's
Too many.
For myself, it's about 25
To still
years
be
now.
this bad.
It's I will just say that when it comes to something like this, at least between the 4 of us here and a couple others that many others that we know, there's some legitimacy to us saying something about what you are doing. Whether it's pace of play reasons or fixing ball marks, sand, whatever. There's people got to understand that length in time in golf and knowing the surroundings carries validity, and I think there's just too much ego for people to accept help from other people.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like a communication factor, which I know a lot of the world is lacking in, and it's just asking your partner or your players you're playing with, like, hey, can I drop here? Is this a bad drop? Like,
Right.
where do you feel that, and it's at the end of the day, like I've said, it's just a game. So
Right. It is, but I
I'm
think
dropping here. Is this cool with you? Is this cool with you?
Right.
Does this work for you? And most people aren't going to
Mhm.
go out on a limb and ask that. Or some
Right.
people won't.
Most people won't. They'll just kind of drop wherever they feel like it and all that. But I think I've always just been a big believer in, especially with the desert here, for pace of play reasons, just take your stroke and distance. Who cares? Like, I mean, I don't care. I'm for it. Like, if I'm telling you to do it, then do it. Like,
Yeah.
whether it's $5 or nothing on the line, just let's keep this thing moving.
Keep it rolling.
And it's with the rules is one thing, but I've had this conversation with some other people, and I feel that since new golfers have come along, that there's not as much integrity in the game as there used to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Integrity, calling penalties on oneself, and different things like that.
There's not much
I think it's
protecting the
kind of
field anymore.
correct. And
That's
I've
sad.
been on the side. I've been on the side of a tournament where I called a penalty on myself. It sucks. You don't want to do that. But that's part of the game of golf, is having the integrity to be a bigger man and come forward with that. So
Yep.
um and I realize not everybody's perfect and all of that, but at the same time, that you can learn a lot about this game and how you are in this game, compared to where you're at in the rest of your life. Because 4 hours with and I'm not talking about like you guys specifically, but if you're playing with new golfers and you see this, like, there has to be somebody telling them this or that, or they'll keep doing
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Time
the
for the
thing.
player's
It's
license.
I mean, a lot of it kind of like weighs on our shoulders. Like, we are
Yes.
players that have been playing for a while need to tell the newer ones, like, hey, that's not correct. And for someone to stand up and say that, it's difficult for the newer generation that is not down with confrontation
Right.
to be like, yo, that's incorrect. And I'll take
Right.
it to, it's tough for people to do that, but it needs to be done because you're going to carry the game of golf on in the respect that it's been played for years, because
Yeah.
it is a game of
And
history.
it sucks when you have to start those conversations with, hey,
Totally.
I'm not being a dick, but
Yeah, but it's like somewhat our obligation to teach the newer ones how to do it.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I agree.
I completely agree. Because if nobody does, they'll never learn.
And if you're a new golfer and you don't know, then you need to fucking ask somebody.
Yeah.
Not Google.
Don't assume. Do
But
not assume.
the one thing I will say too is going back to a previous. Well, I'll go back to that. I heard something about fitting earlier, but right before I hopped on.
Oh yeah, that was about the shafts.
But that just goes back to the decorum I talked about. Somebody has to teach people just basic rules of golf, even if it's just an adopted form, like not the legit ones that we go by.
Cliff's
But
Notes.
Yeah, like a Cliff Notes version
Yeah.
almost. About just white stakes, red stakes, and different things like that. I gotta sneeze here in a second. And then I truly feel, and I don't know how or if it's going to happen, I truly feel that the tee system, like the golf tees on each course, has to be organized better. And I know it may not even affect how and where golfers play on a golf course, related to what tees they play. But there has to be some scoring level or something that says, like, if it's this tee, 80 plus, if you average 80, average 90, 100, whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And
there's courses out there that do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think it's fantastic because I have played with two guys actually at Coyote Springs. It was me and Glenn, and one of the guys never picked up a golf club, and he decided to tee it up with me and Glenn on the tips.
Yeah.
And his friend, who he said he'd been playing like 5 months, did the same thing. And I'm like,
you don't know what you're in for.
I hate, yeah. And like, I hate telling guys that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, I'm only telling them because I'm trying to make the game easier for you, because this game's already hard. It's hard for me. Some days are just better than others, and some days you don't break putters and make 8 birdies.
Yeah.
But
hey, did
sometimes
you see our
the
giveaway?
wedge and just everything goes in.
Or not our
What's
giveaway?
that?
Did you see our raffle? What we're doing for the raffle?
I did not see
Chasing
it.
Daylight podcast raffle. The Southern Highlands social for the SNGA.
No. Okay.
Dan can't play with us, so it's Joe, Jeremy, and myself. So for the 4th spot, we're having a raffle. $20. $20. Throw your name. Pay my Venmo. I put it up on the screen. Pay $20, and you're in the raffle.
Okay. Are they going to play with the 3 of us then?
Yeah, you play with Joe, Jeremy, and myself, and then whoever wins the raffle.
Jeremy, okay.
Yeah, whoever wins the raffle.
Lame.
Sorry.
You guys just kicking me out of the squad. Jeez.
No. It's not like that.
I'm just kidding. Hell, I'll play with 3 brand new people. I don't care. Yeah, it's. I want to go into the shafts too because, well, I'm a shaft whore.
So with no regulations in shafts, meaning there's no, this is I mean, you can frequency them and find out on your own, but nobody's doing that when they're going to Dick's to pick up a set of irons.
Well, the issue is like your swing speed. It's based on swing speed, which is not relative.
This is a subject we can go on and on about.
Well, I got to go to bed, so don't go on too long.
Yeah, I know. If none of that existed, if none of that stuff ever existed, but we still had the same, like if we still had the same technology right now, but the fitting stuff didn't really exist. Like I remember going to the golf store in Florida when I first started playing golf and hitting stuff into a net with no projection, none of that. And you just simply bought clubs based on feel.
Yeah.
I remember the days you could demo a club for a week and bring it back. Like I know that would not go over well now, but
90 days at Las Vegas Golf Superstore.
Yeah. Las Vegas Golf Superstore gives you 90 days.
Oh, well. that people take. I worked that job and people took advantage of that way too many times.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to the game of golf and the respect and the decorum
but
and all that.
I think when it comes to fitting, this is my 2 cents. I think when it comes to fitting, that there's right golf clubs for every golfer and they're not all the same. When it comes to shafts, irons, stuff. A lot of that deals with how it looks, followed by how it feels. But at the same time, you could be very well fitting a guy that doesn't know what the fuck feel is, which is a hard subject to tell somebody because that's not something you can teach. That's feel is not something that is taught, especially in golf. It comes from massive amount of hours worked on a craft. Whether you're getting better or not, Matt. Maybe throw you under the bus. But,
oh no, that's fine.
When it comes to fitting, like for people that I don't know and I haven't golfed with, for people that are fitting, I feel that there needs to be like, you should get yourself a nice set of golf clubs, not freaking Callaway.
Sorry,
not
Callaway.
Somebody
buy a raffle ticket.
Okay,
hey.
Not Callaway Edge from Costco. You can get some really nice pre-owned shit.
Yeah.
And you work with that for a while until you can get yourself a golf swing that is somewhat on repeat.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to fit a guy that is swinging all over the map and he may get fit to this and hit it good for a while, but if he's not able to, I'm not talking about any of us, but if he's not able to repeat a golf swing of some kind, getting fit for golf clubs is just a waste of money.
I remember going to Club Champion and Roden. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not recommending anything for you because
you got to fix that golf swing.
You got to fix that swing."
And I think nowadays, and I seen it done at Club Champion, and I think nowadays fitters need to stop selling golf clubs just to sell golf clubs. If that guy's or gal swing is that bad, all over the map, like tell them.
Yeah.
Like who cares about the paycheck? Because if you tell them to do it the right way and fix it, they'll come back and buy golf clubs from you.
Yeah.
I know, because I've done it.
That was awesome what Roars was saying last week. about, being at Shell Bay with, I don't want to fit you today because you're taking lessons, and
Yeah.
let's wait. I want David to come tell me, okay, she's ready or he's ready to be fit now.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, let's fit you and then go take some lessons. So
Yeah.
do it the right way.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I realize, and people call me crazy when I say this, but it's true.
Crazy.
Everyday people that play golf and want to get better at golf, they don't realize that 20 to 30 minutes of drills in your house without hitting a golf ball goes a long way. And I think people just got to realize that I think they don't realize that golf is harder than it really is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of athletes that start playing, and it's fantastic, but
And then there's
You know,
a
that-
shit ton of variables too.
yeah, there's a lot of variables that it comes down to, but that's my prognosis on the fitting aspect of things is, like, yes, there's a lot of options. That's never going to change.
I didn't even get into, there's too many YouTube coaches. There's too many YouTube
Yeah.
golfers. There's too many Instagram
that-
golfers. There's too many
That's another
podcasts.
episode. Don't another episode. I can't talk about that right now. There's not enough time. I'm trying to go to bed here, so
Yeah, too funny.
yeah, I put, I reposted on my Instagram because it was that exhibition range thing that Tiger did with Ricky and somebody else.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Will Zalatoris, maybe.
It was well.
But so that's, like, people realize, like, when it comes to YouTube, it's a resource to learn from. I feel that if you want to use YouTube as a way to get better, do it. However, stay with the same golf coach, watch all their videos, and do exactly what they did.
Learn their method.
Learn their method.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what you're going to do and you don't want to spend money on a golf coach, which I understand, but you really want to get better, well, get yourself a mirror, full length, and do exactly what they're telling you to do on YouTube, and go for it. But at the same time, if you ain't hitting balls, getting better at learning what they're trying to teach you, you ain't going to get better, because the only way to get better in this game is to hit golf balls.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I will say, like, I dove deep into YouTube videos when I started playing golf, but it's one of those things where it's like, you got to be self-aware to understand if things don't work and don't
Self-aware.
travel down that path.
Right.
And self-awareness is key to understand who you are.
You're just a soul golfer, though. I mean, you can't
Right,
really
bro.
joke you.
And I can't wait to be
golfer.
soulful in San Diego with you, hitting
Philosopher
Cheers.
golfer now.
fucking
Cheers.
2x4s.
Cheers, bro. Yeah,
Nostradamus golfer.
I will say,
For real.
I will say this. Going back to my comment, I think Joe said it about fittings being too expensive, or someone said it. I'll say this, going back to my previous comment about telling people that they need to improve their golf swing before getting fit. If you take that person's money and don't return their money because you tell them that, that's fucked up. Like, I would not, like, if I'm doing a whole hour fitting and I realize at the end that they're not going to break 110 and they're swinging 12 degrees to the left, like, at that point, give them their money back and tell them to get better at golf, and then
Get some
come
lessons
back to
and
me.
come back.
Yeah, get some lessons and come back. Because, like, the way I see it, like, even for myself, talking, I look back at my round that I played on Saturday at Coyote Springs, and even though I had the 8 birdies, I still had 2 doubles and 2 bogeys. Like, there's always room to improve every round. And that's what I try to teach to people that are trying to learn this game and get into the 80s and into the 70s, even into the 90s. Like, you gotta understand, like, people don't understand it's going to take a lot of work to break 100, to break 90, to break 80. I mean, Joe went through that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's going through that. He's broken 80 several times. And that self-awareness you're talking about, people need to be self-aware that if you really want to improve in this game,
You gotta work at it.
you have to work at it. It's not going to happen from watching Good or any of those guys. Like, that's pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting better at golf is actual work. And that should excite you if you like this game on any level. Like that, like, don't get discouraged because you have to work a lot. You're going to get discouraged about everything else in life because you got to work.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
So when it comes to getting better at this game, that's my 2 cents is like, learn from somebody that you can know and trust to help you build a good golf swing. Then once you build a good golf swing, it's like a chip off the block. It's a never ending block. You got to keep chipping away at it, you know? And then the minute
My
you
block
find
is huge. I've been chipping away at that motherfucker for so goddamn long. My knife is dull. My back is hurt.
you got the nub like the end of Shawshank.
Yeah. I'm still digging.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
still
Anyway,
digging.
that's my 2 cents on self-awareness.
Hey, we don't have no golf tournament this week. The Fall Series is on hiatus until after the Ryder Cup, which is in 2 weeks. So I don't know if the DP World Tour has anything going on this weekend, but
they play like 50 weeks a year.
Yeah, they don't quit. They're relentless.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, the places they play all over the world, so that'd be a cool tour to be on. To be honest,
you think about it, you're traveling to a different country every week playing a golf tournament. It's pretty damn cool. So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Trey, thanks for hopping on, kind of filling in for Jeremy while he's ill and under the weather.
I'll be back next week. Ryder Cup.
Is that? No, it's the week after that. So we got, isn't it? Is it next weekend?
Yeah, it's
not this weekend. It's
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2
after.
weeks. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. I thought it was this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We were gonna be.
No. It's next weekend.
Right, cool.
Next weekend. Hit up my Venmo. I put it on the screen. I'll post it in the show notes for Wednesday for people. It's no. Talking about for the SoHi thing. Here it is right here.
Oh yeah,
Trey.
I already paid for mine. I already signed up.
Yeah, see, you're good.
I wasn't gonna miss that.
No. So yeah, $20. Throw your name in the hat, and we'll have the live drawing in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And that's
put something on
So,
Instagram I can share.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it everywhere. So
Sounds good.
check that out. Trey, King of the Green's coming up too. We're gonna do it at Angel Park on the putting course.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, all right, Joe, bring us home with your bad self.
Yo, thanks for tuning in. Chasing Daylight podcast. Next week's gonna be pretty dope. We got Ryder Cup coming up. Me and Trey are going out to San Diego to play in the King Collective. The
we gotta
Kingdom.
talk about that too.
Can't wait for that.
Oh, we did.
We're playing wood drivers, so it's gonna be fun.
I'm taking a 3-wood, baby.
I finally found a set. Shout out Mike Tice. I know he listens. Thank you for the borrow of your clubs. But until then, we'll see you next week. And Ryder Cup's coming up. Shout out to Heath the Gala on the win. We'll see you then. Later.